Now let's build your new online course. Timestamps below, along with some other helpful videos to actually getting students and clients to purchase your new offer. So in this ultimate guide to creating your online course, we'll come up with how to actually choose your idea if you don't already have one, the best type of course to start with, and how you can get started quickly, the software, the tools, and of course getting this launched before you've before you've even completed all of the content. Now, when it comes to online course creation, there's a lot of different types of courses and of course a lot of different types of price points. I am really trying not to say course every other word, but for some reason this is take number 3 and I just can't stop saying course. So let's go and dive into the slides here. When it comes to creating your offer, there we go, there's another word. You want it to be a 30 to 90 day workshop and choose one specific result to help people achieve. So think of it as your ideal customer or your ideal client has some sort of gap in their life. They're here and they want to get over here, and your course is the bridge between where they are and where they want to be. And a 30 to 90 day workshop is a lot easier to sell and a lot easier to communicate the benefits and results that someone can get versus just saying this is a basic introduction course to fill in the blank with whatever your niche or industry is. So you want to make sure that your online course is an offer that is designed to deliver a specific result. Now, when it comes to how long to make it, you're going to want to shoot for 3 to 5 modules, 1 to 2 hours each. So that means at max, you're going to have 10 hours of content. This includes any sort of follow along or case study content as well. After 10 hours, you are probably including more information than you need to, and it's not as optimized as it needs to be because having a lot of content is great, but there is a balance between having enough content where someone can be successful and having so much content, your course actually starts getting in the way of them achieving the results because they just don't have 30 hours to watch all that information. So as much as you can condense it as possible, go ahead and do that. Now, when it comes to what's really going to differentiate your offer versus free stuff they might find on YouTube or Udemy is downloads. So we'll get to how to create these downloads, but essentially you want 10. Yes, I know that sounds like a lot, but you're going to want 10 downloads, at least 2 per module. And then you're going to sell your new course anywhere from $25 all the way up to $297. Once you cross the $300 threshold, you start having to do a lot more marketing and sales tactics. And so it's not the best place to start as a beginner. And as you'll see with our creation plan, you'll actually start at 25 with the same product and work your way up to 300 while you're making sales throughout the entire process. Well, cross our fingers, right? As long as people actually want our product or service. So if you already have a course idea or you already know your niche or industry, you have a couple ideas, go ahead and jump to this timestamp where we get into how to actually outline your course and a complete done for you outline for your content. If you're not quite sure, then this next part, identifying that reality gap and how you can best bridge the gap between where your ideal customer is and where they want to be, this is the exercise for you. So I'll go through a quick rundown of these 6 steps and then we'll just go through a live example. So step number 1 is to just create a comprehensive list of all your skills, training, certifications, etc. Then create a brief description of what they are and choose just 3 to move forward with where you have achieved extraordinary results or you've been paid the most. Even if you don't like it, highly paid skills are most likely going to translate into highly paid courses. Okay, back to the slides. Now list out 3 things that were really hard while learning or implementing your expertise. So what were the big roadblocks, big challenges in your job or in learning the skill or in applying that skill? Then step number 4 is going to be describing how you were able to overcome those and some of the results that you were able to achieve that others haven't as a result of overcoming those roadblocks. Because if you had those problems learning or implementing or trying, then definitely other people have as well. And they're trying to bridge that gap and enjoy those same results and benefits that you've already enjoyed by achieving what you've achieved. Now, the last 2 steps is to just describe the strategies and processes and methods that allowed you to overcome those roadblocks where other people have not. And then step number 6 is to look at everything that you've done so far in this exercise and really pick out what you think is your biggest accomplishment. If you were put on stage and you had to brag about what you just came up with and you're not being humble at all, which one would you choose and what would you say? So let's go ahead and go through a concrete example because that's a little pie in the sky and I'd imagine not every single one made sense. It's a work in progress. So let's go ahead and take a look at our chart here. So I'm first going to fill in some skills. I'll just do myself, marketing, video editing, financial analysis, bookkeeping, cooking, and running. I should have said running, not runner. Anyway, let's go ahead and go into a quick description. So marketing, running marketing campaigns, editing videos like this, evaluating companies and financial planning because I used to be a registered investment advisor. Then bookkeeping, I actually went to school for accounting, so I have somewhat of experience, although I am super out of touch of whatever the new tax laws are. And then of course, cooking, I've been told by my wife that she really likes my sandwiches, so I'll go ahead and put that down as a skill. I don't know if I can monetize that, but at least one person likes my cooking. And then runner, I'm above average in terms of times of running and swimming. And so now that I have this list of skills and a quick description, let's go ahead and go through some results. So I'll rapid fire through these again because this is just an example, and of course you can always pause if you actually want to read this this fun stuff. So with results for marketing, did pretty well because clients don't fire us, so I'll assume that they're happy with the return on ad spend that they get. With video editing, grew this channel, although as a quick disclaimer, I haven't really been editing videos for this channel in over 2 years now. We have a talented editor who's way better than I am, so probably shouldn't make a course about how to video edit it if I haven't done it in a while. And then speaking of something that I haven't done in quite a long time, financial analysis and bookkeeping got pretty good returns for my portfolio and some people I helped. And then bookkeeping did pretty well when I was an accountant. Marriage points for cooking, and I have some pretty good times for running even at my age, although I definitely wouldn't be able to compete, right? Not going to the Olympics anytime soon, ever probably. So let's go ahead and go to roadblocks here. So I'm just going to continue with the top 3 because one of the bottom 3, cooking, I'm probably not going to be able to monetize that. Only one person likes my sandwiches. And then bookkeeping and running, they're just things that I was really good at the past, not necessarily right now. So looking at the top 3 that I have here, we have marketing, running my own marketing. I had a lot of problems with budgets, ads just totally flopping, and of course, slow channel growth. With video editing, it was very time consuming, a lot of late nights, and I just never knew what to keep and cut out. As you can tell, I ramble a lot. And then I just keep talking, so it's really hard to cut out the rambling because I just keep going and I can't seem to take a breath. And then with financial analysis, finding the right companies, and of course calculating. So I'm going to go a little faster now. Life changes, just seeing, okay, how did this actually make an impact on my life, or how did this actually make an impact on your life? And then what did we come up with in order to get through all of those roadblocks? And then the last one, you'd simply choose what the biggest impact was. So for me on life changing, marketing allowed me to have my own business, of course with my business partner. I don't do everything myself. And then video editing, I finally got to bed on time. Well, somewhat on time. If waking up and going to bed in the same day is on time for a new YouTuber, then I will take it because that's pretty much what it's like. 2 or 3 a.m. video editing is just not fun. And then with financial analysis, because I'm a giant closet geek, I was able to pay for most of my tuition with the returns I got and actually graduated with a positive net worth. I still had loans, but at least if I wanted to, I could have paid them all off. Probably should have in retrospect. And then the mechanism, just going through what did I create in order to have that life change and overcome those roadblocks. And so that's all there is to it, to identifying the gap. And so once you have a good understanding of what you've achieved in the past, the struggles and roadblocks you've overcome, and what you can help other people accomplish, it's time to actually outline your course. So here is a simple 5-module structure that you can follow for almost any course. Obviously, you're gonna have to modify a little bit, but essentially the first module is going to be the foundation, where you have the introduction, preparation steps, research, inventory, assessments. This is collecting all the information and all the self-reflection that someone needs in order to move forward with what you're about to teach them. Then the second one is going to be planning. Now that they've collected all of that, here's the plan moving forward, and here's how you create your own plan for success. Then module 3 is going to be where the rubber actually meets the road, and this is where you deliver that unique mechanism, that unique way of overcoming those roadblocks, because they've done all the research, they have all the basic information, they've done their self-assessments and inventories, they understand what the plan is, and they've created a plan to implement over the next 30 to 90 days, and now they need the information, the exact steps on how to achieve that result that they're looking for. Module number 4 is going to be the catch-all. So anything that didn't fit in the first 3 or isn't absolutely necessary for someone to get started, this is where you put that information. So extra tips, hacks, advanced things, and then some, of course, tips to help someone stay on track over their 30 to 90 day challenge in order to achieve that result that this whole entire course is about. So you can see that by having a 30 or 90 day challenge or 30 or 90 day kind of timeline or horizon, you're able to create the course around that plan, and it is a much better way to ensure that people actually go through the course, because most people don't, and ensure that everything is designed on getting someone to that result as opposed to just throwing a bunch of information at them. And of course, the final one is going to be reflection, next steps, and some more advanced tips. And so that's all there is to it, to creating your online course outline. Now, once you have this outline, you're going to want to go through and create at least 2 downloads. So different types of downloads could be an audit, a calculator, a resource guide, a planner, a template, organizer, script or tracker, and then of course audit or planner. And I've kind of broken these out into matching what the module is about, just to give you some ideas. Of course, you can mix and match as you want, but you want at least 2 per module. So I'll link up in the cards and the description to a video that takes a really deep dive on lead magnet ideas, because lead magnets and downloads are very, very close. And that is on purpose, because what you want to do is not make this course. Please do not go through the process of making this course once you've come up with your process map, once you know what the modules and downloads are going to be. Instead, go to your list of downloads and start making those first. Now, why would you make downloads before you even have a course? Because downloads can not only be offered as lead magnets, which are free offers, they can also be mini products. So this is where a lot of course creators, myself included, I've made this mistake several times, where you get to this point and then you just dive headfirst for weeks, if not months, probably weeks though. You dive in for weeks, you create this awesome course, and then you try and sell it, right? And there's all this time that you're investing where you don't know if people want the course, you don't know how the course is going to do, and most importantly, you're not actively marketing yourself or making any sales. So when you focus on creating some of those downloads first, you have lead magnets that you can offer in ads or your current content, and some of the downloads you can turn around and sell from anywhere from $3 to $10. So no more than $10, right? I think we have one that went to $25, and that was because it was just a really, really advanced Excel sheet, and it took us a long time to build. But what you want to do is look at those offers that those downloads that you can turn into offers, and now you're testing, and hopefully you're making a couple of sales, because it's much easier to put up a landing page and offer something for free, or put together a really short form sales letter with a 3-minute video explaining your cool tracker, planner, Excel calculator, and offer it for $3 to $7, than trying to write a sales letter for a $300 course right off the bat. So you're actually making the course, you're getting feedback, hopefully you're starting to make sales, and if the lead magnets don't work, if the downloads don't work, then you know that you probably shouldn't go through the process of making the entire course, right? And the worst that's happened is you've invested some time in some downloads and lead magnets and small offers that didn't work. And of course, you are getting feedback the entire time, which is so critical to this process. So please don't take that process map and immediately go make your course. What you want to do is start making those downloads, offer them for free, or offer them for a really low ticket offer, and see how they perform. Get that marketing machine started now, so you're actually getting paid while you're creating your content and while you're figuring things out. Of course, assuming that people actually want it, because you'd be surprised how many times an idea up here sounds awesome, and then you go and implement it and nobody wants it. Some of our best performing products were the lowest on my list, but because we started here and didn't build out courses yet, that's how we know what we should be building in the future. And speaking of building, you're probably going to need some tools and software to actually create your online course. So when it comes to creating your course, number one is going to be a microphone. That should be the very first. And if you only have the budget for one thing, purchasing a microphone is the way to go, because for the most part, you can probably get away with doing almost everything else for free, if not very low, depending upon what software you already have. So there are two types of microphones I recommend getting. A USB condenser microphone, like the one I have here. This one's from Audio-Technica, and it's an AR2500, and I don't think they sell it anymore. They have a AR2500X, and it's about 120 bucks. So whatever microphone you decide to use, I recommend finding a condenser one, because those blue Yeti microphones you see everywhere, they actually pick up a lot of background noise, and it was one of the worst decisions I made when I first started this channel. Now, if you're going to be recording on your phone, which is totally okay, which is what I'm kind of doing right now, using it as a remote control, then go ahead and pick up a lav microphone so that you have good audio quality. Whoops. Speaking of audio quality, that is going to be paramount to whether or not people actually find your course of a high quality, because they did not pay for bad audio, right? So really make sure that your audio is on point. Now, when it comes to video, you don't need a DSLR. You don't need a mirrorless camera. Like you don't need any of that. You either use your phone to record yourself live if that's important, or you can use the Logitech C920, which is about 80 bucks right now, as a webcam. Now, unless I absolutely have to, I actually don't show my face in any of our content. And simply as a digital nomad, I move a lot. So I don't want people looking at the camera, looking at the footage and going,
"Hey, you were there 6 months ago. This course must be old and outdated, right?"
Even though information doesn't actually change that fast. So just keep in mind that your course is actually going to last a whole lot longer if you don't show your face. Now, if you already bought a home, you have a home studio, and you just know you're not going to move for the next decade, well then sure, go ahead, show your face. But just keep in mind that showing your face on camera, or not just using screen capture, can actually date the video that you're creating for your course. And it's a lot easier for us to update our course content, because all I have to do is splice in the new information. I don't have to worry about re-recording the entire video because I was popping in and out of on camera like these ones for YouTube. Now, next, you're probably going to need some software. So if you have a Mac, I recommend just going with ScreenFlow. It can record your screen, it can edit, and it can do some fancy things. If you're on Windows or a Chromebook, which embarrassingly, that's what I'm actually using right now because both my laptops died, you can use something called Screencastify. It's a Chrome plugin. It's like 25 bucks a year, and that's actually what I'm using right now for this screen capture. Or you can go ahead and pick up Camtasia for Windows. So if you have a Mac, just go with ScreenFlow. It has a much better feature set, and it is less expensive. Personally, I've been using Camtasia for the last 4 or 5 years now, and I'm still using like the 2018 version, and it works just fine. You definitely don't have to upgrade every time they tell you that they have an upgrade. The core features are pretty much the same. Now, when it comes to creating your graphics, I am a huge fan of slides, as you could probably tell because you're still watching this video. And if you are, go ahead and hit that like button. And all the graphics you've actually seen in this video were made using Google Slides, because I do not know how to use Illustrator or Photoshop. If you already know how to use those, great, awesome. You're going to have an edge up on the rest of us. If you don't, please don't waste time learning how to use those. Just use whichever presentation software you're already comfortable with, and I'd recommend supplementing it with Canva, which is a fantastic tool. So I'll leave an affiliate link in the description if you want to learn more about Canva. If you do decide to upgrade your plan, we receive a commission as a way to help support this channel and more content like this, because I'm a heavy Canva user. So I pretty much use Google Slides and Canva for 99.9% of our graphics. And when it comes to extra media to spruce up your content, maybe you want some more illustrations, or you want some B-rolls or music, then you can go ahead and check out Storyblocks and Envato Market, and both of those are great solutions for finding stock media. Now, I do not recommend actually going ahead and purchasing either one of them for a new online course, especially if your course is less than $300. People don't really need or care about the background music. They don't really need or care a lot of fancy B-rolls or a lot of really great graphics, because they are there to achieve what they want to achieve in the next 30 to 90 days. So now let's go ahead and talk about platforms. There are a lot out there. There are only two that I recommend. Teachable, which is what we use, and Thinkific, which is what I recommend. Now, pause, because I know that's a little confusing. When we first went with Teachable, they still had a free plan, although they got acquired, and the new people who purchased Teachable are very focused on getting their return on investment back. So there's actually no longer a free plan. And so if you're looking to just get started with online courses and you want something that's going to allow you to just get in the game, start selling some, especially with those micro offers, then go ahead and just go with Thinkific. There's no reason to pay for Teachable right off the bat if you're just getting started. If you already have a big social media following, you already have a big email list, and you know that you're confident in your marketing abilities, then sure, go ahead and compare and contrast Thinkific and Teachable, but there's no reason to pay for Teachable if you're not already there. So that's all you really need for software. There are a lot out there. These are the two that I recommend looking at because they are focused on delivering the content. You don't want an all-in-one solution like Kajabi, although I'm getting sidetracked now. So this last part is going to be really helpful when you actually start making some sales, when you actually start having some people inside of your products, inside of your course. And you can also follow this customer growth process if you are just selling those micro offers. And that is answering the question, why do people buy from you? You specifically, your specific offers, whether it's the course, whether it's the micro offer. And of course, this is actually a really long-winded explanation that will end with a survey that you can send people who've already purchased from you. You don't want to send this to people who have not purchased from you. This is specifically for when you have customers, because this is going to help you. Even if you only have 5 people, sign up. You getting the opinions and insights out of 5 people is better than just the brainstorming we've done so far with no people involved at all. So this concept comes from a book called Demand Side Sales. So I'll leave a link in the description to a link that you can check out on Amazon, as well as a talk from someone from a software company called Basecamp, where he takes a really deep dive into how they really use this methodology to understand the customer, so they build products that they know people actually want. And so just like we identified the gap in the beginning, and we didn't even think about what our course was going to do, you want to do this again here. And so here's a simple survey you can send out to your customers to try and get some insights as to why they specifically bought from you versus all the other offers out there. And so first, of course, you want their name and email, because you'll most likely be using Google Forms for this. And you're going to essentially just ask them, what did you expect our product to help you achieve, and why did you choose us? And then ask them a little bit about their goals and their budget, and of course their experience. And most importantly, at the end, ask them where you failed. Ask them where you didn't deliver on something that they thought they were going to get, and you will get a tremendous amount of insight into how your customers are thinking and possibly how they're behaving as a result of going through your course, so you can improve your content and improve your marketing messaging. So thank you so much for watching. Sincerely hope you have a much clearer picture on how to actually put together your online course and get started before you go into the hard work of hours upon hours of creating all of your course content using downloads as micro offers. So hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dive product building videos just like this one, and until the next, keep building the business you love.